We are back with the Guy Dawson Show at the World Center of Broadcast Media in fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada. I also wanted to announce a radio show that we do, and we have just switched our time. It is called PR Connections, the Business Edition, and we are going to be coming on the air at 9 a.m. every Tuesday at KDWN 720 a.m. This show is cutting edge when it comes to business. We talk about all things related to business, marketing, public relations, investing. Cheryl, you host the show. What do you think?
You threw me in with politics. You keep throwing me in with politics. I am completely out of my league, and I'm glazing over. I'm
she's
so
such
sorry.
a fantastic. I told you she's the PR goddess. She just rolls with the punches, even though she's in with the political people.
I think I actually made Don bark on the other show just so I didn't feel so bad. He
did bark.
He was a good sport. So.
Whether you are a political person or not, we would love it if you would tune into PR Connections, the Business Edition, every Tuesday at 9 a.m. at KDWN 720 a.m. and KDWN.com. And
you look so serious.
Cheryl, you're into the.
I was looking at which one I need to look at.
The middle one.
This is our. We have an animal activist.
Yes.
And she's a PR goddess / animal activist. And,
that's why I'm wearing the shirt today.
So, will you explain your shirt?
I will. I skipped over the formal attire for today. So I'm also the director of communications and cuddling for Hearts Alive Village Las Vegas, and I talk about that every time. Every time you hand over your show, it goes to the dogs. every time.
No matter what the format
doesn't matter.
It goes to the dogs.
Yeah, like you're talking about finances. Dogs. Okay, so dogs and finances.
Wrong with letting things go to the dogs. Yes.
We've actually got a really cool fundraiser coming up, and I wanted to bring on my new friend, Patrick Lamontini. He is the founder and director. What do we call you?
You know, the guy, the jack of all trades for Barcade.
Okay.
All right.
He's the talent.
Stumbled across the idea. I'm a hairstylist by trade, and I love hair. I started doing hair late in life. I was in my 30s. I've always wanted to do it, and I didn't want to
Late
regret.
in life? What the hell is that?
That's late in life for a guy like me. For not knowing what you want to do. You know, how many of us go through life and not knowing what we do? So I made the jump and became a hairstylist, and I wanted to make a difference and get out there, and I wanted to do a world record. I wanted to do something that nobody else has ever done. So I jumped out there 6 years ago and cut hair for 72 continuous hours. And all the money I raised during those 3 days went to the Kansas Humane Society, which is where I'm from, the Wichita, Kansas area. And it was so amazing that not only were people waiting in line for hours to get their haircut, but they were there for a reason. Mm-hmm. They loved the cause. Mm-hmm. And it just opened my eyes to the whole idea of animal welfare and making a difference. And so I ventured out the following year to do something new and different. And I did 50 haircuts in each of the 50 states in 50 days. And all of the money in each one of those states that I did, the money I raised went to a designated shelter or rescue. Mm-hmm. And here we are, 5 years later, continuing the national tour, the 50 states tour with Barcade. We have grown from 50 states to 74, mm-hmm. and we just continue to grow, and that's what we do, and that's how we met through all of that throughout the years. And we will be here September 4th on a Friday right here in Las Vegas at a salon called Kelly Cardenas, and we will be raising money and awareness for Hearts Alive Village, Las Vegas. So.
I have to ask a question. Haircut at 71 hours. How did that come out?
You know, I had a lot of support, and that's one of the things that people like, oh, I don't want to be that last haircut. We purposely...
It was just a buzz.
We purposely went and contacted the local law enforcement and some military guys, and it was a buzz cut time at that point. Yeah.
Right, yeah, the ball heads. You definitely want the ball heads when they're the 70.
One guy leaves without an eyebrow.
Right.
Like, it's for charity.
Right, exactly. So that's what brings me to Las Vegas today, is because we are here getting our tour van wrapped. And the fine, beautiful people at Pictographics here in Las Vegas were so kind to do the wrap for us. And that's what we're doing here today, and that's why we're here today talking to you, taking advantage of the opportunity to spread the word of what Bark 8 is doing. And luckily, I get to do what I do, hair, and to do it for such a great cause all over the country. And with the van wrap, it gives people opportunities to see what we're doing, gives sponsorships the opportunity to be a part of such a great exposed environment. You know, over 18,000 miles will be driven, 74 cities, over 6,000 haircuts. It's got a very, very captive audience, and this really allows a lot of people to be involved in such a great thing.
And the money is amazing. Obviously, we're all incredibly grateful for that, but the awareness is probably the biggest thing. There's so many issues around animal rescue and just the plight of animals in this country. And you're helping to bring awareness to the rescues and to the work that we're doing. So that's amazing.
It really is so gratifying when you're in a place like Baltimore, or when you're down south in Richmond, Virginia, and you have somebody come to the salon and they're like, I didn't even know about the SPCA, or I didn't even know this rescue was around. And that itself, the value of that is worth sometimes more than the actual money that they receive, so that they have an option when they have an animal that they don't know what to do with.
Right.
Yeah. You know, I'll give you a quick, funny, geographic image of animal intelligence, or people's intelligence or education about animals. Northeast New England, extremely pet friendly. Great people, love dogs, love cats, great. You get to Virginia, things start getting stupid. You know, you get into the south. Yeah, you get into the south, southeast, North Carolina, South Carolina. Dogs become property, and they're done with it. They throw it in the ditch.
Yep.
That's the mentality down there. Then you get into the Midwest, it gets a little better. In Northeast Michigan, it gets a little nicer as you get north, and it's just kind of funny to see that. And what's wonderful about, that's not wonderful, but what's wonderful about what Bark 8 has been able to achieve through connecting all of these groups across the country, there are transport systems now that exist because of those connections from the south to the north.
Yes.
And shelters in Vermont have a 0 dog population, because they're always getting adopted.
Yeah.
Everybody wants a dog. So what they do is they take these unfortunate homeless dogs from Columbia, South Carolina, and ship them to Burlington, Vermont, and they find homes. So it's just that kind of stuff, and that kind of exposure and awareness is what really makes this so fun.
And I always like to keep things positive, but sometimes you have to go to that negative place for a moment.
Right.
I actually lived in North Carolina for a while. I was fostering, and I'm holding a puppy in my hands, ready to get out of the rescue or the shelter, and they actually walked by, said, "That's a pit bull," took the puppy out of my hands, and he was put down 15 minutes later.
Yeah, that's where people just the unfortunate environment. At one time, if you look back at history, the German Shepherd was the bad dog.
Yeah.
Then it was the Rottweiler. Then it was the Doberman. Now it's the Pit.
Yeah.
And then there will be a next one. I think the next dog that's going to be at that level is the Chihuahua.
Oh yeah. Well, we have to have an enemy, of course. So.
Now, the Guy Dawson Show has gone to the dogs again, thanks to Cheryl Green, the PR goddess. We're going to take a short commercial break, and I know we're going to talk about dogs more, aren't we?
Maybe a cat.
Ruff, ruff.
I didn't even have to ask.
Ruff, 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 ruff.